bomb. Listen, I was in the laundry room doing laundry, as one does, and I was watching the new Matt Pat food theory video because my guy's retiring, of course, soon. But anyways, I finished the laundry, go to the bedroom, get my phone, and I see this tweet from Shams saying that the Indiana Pacers are closing in on a trade to acquire Pascal Siakam. Now, I believe the words he actually used are actively engaged, and at the time of this recording, that tweet was sent out 35 minutes ago, and usually when you get that kind of feeler precursor tweet, the actual thing happens within a few minutes, and it hasn't happened yet. It could happen at the time of this recording, who knows, but I will be doing a little bit of speculation. But these trades, when you get that precursor tweet, the actively engaged tweet, it always happens 99% of the time, unless you're DeAndre Jordan and they lock you in your house and convince you to change your mind. But anyways, my guy Yossi Goslin on Twitter says that even if the Pacers were to send out Bruce Brown's $22 million salary, they'd still have to send out an additional $7.6 million. So I kind of threw up this mock trade of what the finalized Pascal Siakam trade will pretty much look like. Now, in my trade, I have, of course, the Pacers getting Pascal Siakam, which is an amazing fit. We'll get into that in a little bit. And I have the Raptors sending over, of course, Bruce Brown. And then to get to that $7.6 million, Jalen Smith and Isaiah Jackson actually fit perfectly, but Fanspo still said that the Pacers would have to ship off like another $500,000. That's why I threw in James Johnson, who they just recently signed to beat Giannis' ass or whatever happened with that ball. And then, of course, 3 first-round picks. Now, when that final details come out, it will be interesting to see if the Pacers part way with some of their other younger guys. I didn't add them to this trade and this mock because that actually would make a difference, but who knows? Maybe the Pacers throw in an Andrew Nembhard or an Aaron Nesmith. Those two, definitely not Benedict Mathurin, but maybe they throw in a Jalen Smith or someone along those lines, right? Which could certainly affect the Pacers a little bit more because those are young, promising talent. Now, if not, I still think this is a relatively decent trade for the Raptors because they're getting 3 first-round picks. And when they just traded OG Anunoby, they didn't get any. So now you kind of got some nice building blocks in RJ Barrett and who's Isaiah, not Isaiah, what's his name? Emmanuel Quickly. I don't know what I'm thinking. Emmanuel Quickly, who have had very good starts to their Toronto Raptors tenure, and now they get another 3 first-round picks from the Pacers, so you kind of got some good building blocks there. And I do want to say, about a week ago, I posted a Pascal Siakam to the Miami Heat trade package video. This was that, and Heat fans were saying this was way too much to give up for Siakam. I'd say it's a pretty comparable trade to what's actually going to happen, right? I mean, the Pacers are giving up 3 first-round picks and some salary. The Miami Heat would be giving up 2 first-round picks and Tyler Hero, who might command like 1, maybe 2 first-round picks on the trade market. I do want to say, though, too, we know that it's confirmed Bruce Brown will be in the trade. That's my guy, obviously. University of Miami, baby. I love Bruce Brown, but I did think that was a severe overpay when the Pacers signed him to that 2-year, like $45 million deal. But the good news is for the Raptors, it was only a 2-year deal. You know, the first year was this year, so he essentially has a year and a half left. He'll be a big expiring deal next year, which who knows, maybe would have some value to some team that's trying to get off a large contract, and then they can attach some more first-round picks to that, and you know how it goes. So that actually is a nice contract Bruce Brown is for the Raptors to go ahead and acquire. Now, some of the other suitors that came out in the article that Shams put out on The Athletic, he basically said, we all know about the Sacramento Kings, but because Siakam is an impending free agent, he kind of told Sacramento, don't trade for me, I'm not going to resign here, which is typically what you see happen when you see a star get moved on the final year of his deal. But we also heard that the Mavericks and the Warriors were trying to make a move for Siakam, which are 2 teams where he'd fit perfectly. Obviously, 2 teams that really want to win now, 2 teams where there's a definite need, and also 2 franchises that really want to keep their star player happy in Steph Curry and Luka Doncic. Obviously, Curry is not going anywhere, but Luka, you know, they tried to get him Kyrie. It's not working as great as they hoped. So I'm sure they want to keep making big splashes to try to make Siakam, or to try to make Luka happy over there. But anyways, let's take a look at the current Eastern Conference standings at the time of this recording, where the Pacers are 23-17. Now, Tyrese Halliburton is still about a week away from being reevaluated from his injury. So they're obviously not at full strength at the moment. But when he comes back, you can assume they'll be somewhere in that 4 to 8 range, I guess, looking at this. But all those teams are super bundled together. I mean, from the Cavs at number 4 and the Magic at numbers 8, there's only 3 games separating the two. So all this stuff is changing on a daily basis. So getting Siakam right now before the February 8th trade deadline, by the way, is kind of a perfect time to get him and kind of just start racking up these wins. So maybe they can finish top 4 in the East and lock in that home court advantage. Now, do I think that they will? Well, now that the Pacers got Siakam, you can see as a Heat fan, I'm already starting to get a little bit shook here with my words, because that team is going to be scary. I mean, they could theoretically have a lineup of Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Benedict Mathurin, Pascal Siakam, and Miles Turner. Now, obviously, at this current time, they got Buddy Hield coming off the bench most of the time, and he's another trade candidate that we've heard in rumors for a very long time. So even when the Siakam trade to Indiana does go down, who knows if what the next domino is, and it could be Buddy Hield. But at this current time, it does allow them to, the trade of Bruce Brown does allow that starting spot for Buddy Hield back, and then that also allows Benedict Mathurin to slide up to the starting 3. Because one of the things a lot of people were saying that were against my Siakam to Miami trade is they were saying, oh, well, Siakam is not a great floor spacer. Now, this season, he's at like 30% for the season, which is a little bit below his career average. We know he's not an exceptional 3-point shooter. But weirdly, though, and someone commented this on my last video too, so shout out to them. They said that in like the last 15 to 20 games, Siakam is shooting like 50% from 3. That's not that small a sample size. So that kind of tells me that he's kind of regressing to the mean from being a very poor 3-point shooter to just a average to below average 3-point shooter, which at his size, at his position, with his defensive versatility and offensive playmaking and scoring ability, and that little spin move that we all make fun of with the memes and stuff, being an average to subpar 3-point shooter is good enough, right? Certainly when you have that starting lineup that I just mentioned, Tyrese Halliburton, sniper, Buddy Hield, sniper, one of the best ever if you look at the numbers, Benedict Mathurin, sniper, can score from anywhere. And then the 5, Miles Turner, stretch, one of the best stretch 5s in the league. Now you're talking about defensively. We all know that Miles Turner is an elite shot blocker, but now you got Pascal Siakam, who can guard the more mobile 4s and 5s. That would make this Indiana Pacers team just so well-rounded, and quite frankly, very, very scary as a Heat fan. But that's kind of all I got to say about this trade until we get some more news, as I'm checking my Twitter to see if anything actually happened. I have a couple notifications, and it's nothing about the trade. But I'm sure this trade will drop soon, and if not, hey, we got another video about just that's not Heat related, as I try to expand my horizon and grow the audience here. So if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and follow, because it genuinely does help me out a lot. Like, don't forget to sub, for real, because I do plan to start talking about more things in the NBA and NFL, and just try to grow my audience as we try to grow this brand over here. So anyways, I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.